would like to talk about some War Bunny war stories. Tomorrow will mark 6 months that Rick passed away. I'm doing this video on October 7th. So he died on April 8th, so it's 6 months. I also found out that, I don't know for the past couple of days or October, but it is the 50th anniversary of Monty Python. And Monty Python played quite a bit of role in our relationship for my best friend here. The day we got the keys to the apartment, we rolled up. My brother-in-law is out on his porch, and we are like, "We have come to invade!" And he starts with the speech from the French, where he starts the taunting. And at the end, he's like, "Leave, or I'll taunt you a second time." And we're just laughing, and we roll out. And that was the last thing that was said that my brother-in-law ever got to say to Rick. I had gotten Rick a t-shirt that I saw at the cons that had that whole quote, "I'll fart in your general direction." So I had to buy it for him. After he passed, my friend Chris Musto, who also did this gorgeous print up here of Bunny, this is the original, brought me this killer rabbit to put beside his ashes, which are right over there. Yes, I keep Rick with me. He has his own shelf. The bunny lives next to him. His top hat, all his things are here. And this, of course, is my Rick wall. It makes me feel better to be able to walk into the apartment we were supposed to share and say, "Oh, hey, Rick." Because I've got Blackie. I've got the portrait that was done of him, some of his bunny art, a chibi that I had done, of course, the portrait that Chris did for me. That was taken by Bonnie Stanley. She did beautiful photos for us for Nirvana. And this here, I know you can't see the detail, but it's a bunny, red eyes, and bones under it, and says, "Look at the bones." Okay, the story behind that is, I was walking through GalaxyCon, Virginia, and as I'm walking through, that was my cat, as I was walking through, I walk by this booth that has that print, and I stop dead in front of it. I just start staring at it, because it was probably maybe 2 months after he had died, and it just hit me, because we loved Holy Grail and the Killer Rabbits, the War Bunny, the whole thing ties into everything. And I'm just looking at it and just standing there debating whether I should get it or not, just silently. And the guy looks at me, the vendor, says, "Hey, you like Monty Python?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But my partner, he passed away a couple of months ago. He was also a huge Monty Python fan, and this just reminds me of him." And I proceeded to tell him about Rick, known as the Lord War Bunny. And we're talking a little bit, and I'm about to reach into my bag to grab some money to pay him for the print, because I decided I wanted it. And he hands it to me. And I said, "No, I'll pay for it." He goes, "No, you've been through enough." And he introduced me to his wife and such, and he just hands me the print and gives it to me for free. And it was probably the most touching moment I had all weekend, to have this just kindness. And it's a little thing, but I have it up on the wall, and it just means a lot to me, because, as I said, Monty Python was a thing. We loved Monty Python. The Rose Garden, which is an outdoor theater here, sometimes they show movies, and they brought out a big screen, and you can watch movies outside, and food trucks, and you sit in the amphitheater, and it's lovely. So they had a Monty Python night, so they had Holy Grail. And of course, we're like, "Oh my God, we have to go." And of course, a bunch of our friends went. And me and Rick, of course, we had to get dressed up, because that's the way we do. So we get dressed up, and I'm in just general red wear, because, there aren't any major female characters in Holy Grail. Thank you very much. And Rick, of course, comes as the War Bunny with ears and his swords and his tabard and the whole 9 yards, and Viking warlord and bunny, bunny ears. So, and this big gray beard, and he's quite an imposing figure. You definitely don't miss him when he walks in. It's like, that's often the look that he got. So there we are. We're up on stage for the costume contest, and they introduce everybody, and we go on. He goes, "Oh, War Bunny," and right at the end, there's a girl dressed as a killer rabbit. Full white bunny suit, red, all in here, blood, the little fake blood and everything, right at the mouth. So, as they do, is they shoo everyone off stage to introduce them back on stage to do the who are the winners type of thing. So, unbeknownst to me, the War Bunny and the Killer Bunny were colluding, because next thing I know, Rick is marching out on stage, Blackie drawn, holding the bunny head, this woman's bunny head, by the ears, walking out in a big, deep voice, as much as he could muster. "We have one less contestant." And I about died. He's just striding out there, just smiling, holding his bunny head, and everyone's just cracking up. And then the girl has pulled the bunny head up over her head. She's going to pull the bunny suit, so you can't see her head, is what I meant to say. So, and then she comes out all, looking for her head. And Rick's like, "Fine," and puts the head back on her. And, and we get back in line. So, and that's how we won tickets to go see Spamalot, that Raleigh Little Theater was showing, that was doing the local community theater. So a few weeks later, we go see Spamalot. We were very excited, because we've always wanted to see the show. Even though it wasn't like a Broadway version, it was, local community theater, it still was going to be a lot of fun. RLT has excellent actors. We have excellent actors here in town. So we go, and Rick is in a kilt, his vest, his shirt, he's very well dressed, and his kilt, and his bunny ears, and I think he was wearing his top hat and bunny ears. And I come in, and I have my Union Jack corset, and my little kilt, my little plaid skirt with my Union Jack leggings, and we walk in, and the ushers look at us, and they're like, "You know what you're in for." We're like, "Yep." So we sit down, we enjoy the show. It was wonderful. We stayed till the very, very end, and it was hilarious. So then as we're walking out, I go to the ladies' room, I come back, and Rick was looking at me, "Betty, do you know, 2 people have come and congratulated me on a good show?" Rick wasn't in the show. So, that was just, it brings me joy. And Monty Python will always bring me joy, because not only are they hilarious, but they'll always remind me of Rick and some of the absurd times we had. The only sad I have is that John Cleese was supposed to come to GalaxyCon Raleigh, and he couldn't make it, and he was just going to do, he did a live Q&A via video, but I really wanted him to sign that portrait, because that was going to be the closest that Rick would ever get to meet him. And I wanted to be able to be there and be like, "Excuse me, I'd like to introduce you to the Lord War Bunny. Unfortunately, my best friend decided he had the audacity to die before he got here." So, and I would have been dressed like Lady Thumper in my ears and my corset and stuff. And it would have just been a moment if I could, Gloria, stop it. All right, you guys are stuck with the cat in the bottom there with a little bit of shaking, because I'm not doing this video over. It would have been really a joy if I was able to meet him and be able to introduce, at least have a minute to just introduce my best friend, the Lord War Bunny. I think he would have appreciated him. I hope that, I really hope that if you're out there, John Cleese, which you probably never see this, but if you're out there, do more conventions so we can come and see you. I would love to be able to get that signature, and if you would allow me a minute to tell you a bit about the Lord War Bunny. But it being the 50th anniversary of Monty Python, I'm so grateful for it, because not only has it made me laugh through the years, and God knows how many friends I've gotten because we're all, Python fans. And of course, we're raising my niece right. She's 17. She's seen many Monty Python films. We've made sure of this. But it'll always remind me of Rick. And not in a sad way, but in a happy way, and in an absurd way. Because, that's who he was. You were never afraid to be yourself. You were never afraid to be different around Rick. Because he was kind of a beacon of the weirdos. And he was my best friend. Call him my partner. Because that's what we were. We took care of each other. And I miss him so much now that he's gone. So I'm going to stop rambling now that I've done my 6-month video. And I just want to let you go, my friends. I love you all. And don't tell your friends that you love them, because you never know when they'll be gone. So, just letting you know.